Okay, so let's start the session of today's class. And in the meantime, if any of your friends haven't joined yet, please ask him or her to join the session immediately. I'm sharing my screen. Please check it out whether it's visible to you or not.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am. Visible.
okay, fine. So, just before starting anything afresh today, I'm going to recapitulate what we have done in our very first class. As I said, you guys, you need to install Android Studio, and prior to that, you need to install JDK and need to set up your system. So everyone, I hope, has done those process, and those who have not done that thing during the class, as I hope you have got the holiday yesterday and you have completed that part. I've shared with you the code that we have discussed in the last class. So once you install an Android Studio software, the application, you need to click on the start menu and you will find your Android Studio application. Once you start your Android Studio application, you are going to get a window like this where you have an option for new project. If you have not created any project yet, if you have not created any project yet, then you need to click on new project option to start a project afresh. So once you click on new project option, then you are going to get a screen in this manner. Here you need to select a template starting with empty activity. Starting with empty activity, you need to create a project. After empty activity, selecting this template, you need to click on next. Then you have to provide an application name. You can change the package name if required, and I will recommend you not to save your project in C directory. Rather than that, you should save your project in other available directories, if any. The language that we are going to use is Java. So you need to select Java language, and the minimum SDK that you need to select over here, that can be API 23 or lesser than that. Once you do all this processes, once you complete up this form, then finally you can click on finish to create up your project. I hope you remember that we have already created a project named as Android Learning. And that particular project is been enlisted in this list. So here from this list, I'm going to open that existing project, that is Android Learning. And for opening this project, just you need to click over the project name. Once you click over the project name, the project will be loaded in your Android Studio window. It will sync your project, might require a bit time to completely set up your project to reload the things from your device. So I hope everyone is opening the project right now. And
Ma'am,
once,
have you stopped screen sharing?
no, isn't shared.
No, it's not visible.
Okay. I'm sharing once again. Just check it out. Is it visible now?
Now it's visible. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, see, so this is that part of code that I have provided you in your WhatsApp group as well. You can go through that. If you have not completed the code, you can just copy paste that code over here with your existing or the default code that has been provided in your activity underscore main.xml file. This is a layout file that contains the design of your screen. So here you can find it out. I'm getting a bit of error because I guess my project is not yet synced. So for syncing the project, in case it's showing that nothing is getting loaded. But if you are getting any error in this manner, then you just need to click on build, the menu available at the top, and under this menu you have a sub menu known as rebuild project. So you need to click on this rebuild project option to rebuild your project once again and to get rid of the errors.
Ma'am, here is one
Yes.
thing. When you open the program, there is
Hmm.
tip of the day.
Yes, tips of the day is basically the some suggestions that Android Studio provides its developers, its users. So you can go through the tips, like the tips related to Java syntax, like the tips related to Android syntax. All those things is used to give. You can go through it, or you can simply click on close to close the pop-up. It's that pop is the pop-up comes default whenever you open up the Android Studio for the first time. In means whenever you close the application and restart the application, you are going to get that pop-up.
Can can you please repeat
Yes,
what to do with the pop-up?
just close the pop-up. You have a close option there.
Yes,
Just close
ma'am.
the pop-up.
Ma'am, when I copy
Yes,
pasted the code, after that
yes.
it's in the screen, preview screen, it's
Hmm.
coming like @string/name @string/phone.
No, I have just defined that thing in the previous day. I'm showing once again how you can get rid of the thing. Basically, you don't have to write @string/name. Means,
Okay.
or whatever you are getting like strings, those things you need not to write. Rather, you need to write over here. You need to type over here simply the very value name that will be visible over your screen. And once you type out the value name, you will, if you click over it, you are going to get a yellow color bulb left hand side of the text.
Yes.
Or you can simply press Alt Enter both the button together to get the option of extract string resource.
Okay.
So once you click on extract string resource, you are going to get that string name and the string value is appearing automatically. So once it appears, then you need to click on OK button. That's the way how it will be replaced by the string/name.
Ma'am, can you please repeat this line 1 second? I will just write it.
Once you type out the name over here, the name that you want to get it visible, that
Okay.
particular value, if you type over here, after typing that value, take your cursor over that value.
Okay. No, I am asking about that yellow mark you told no.
Acha, yellow colored bulb, click
Yes.
on that,
Yes.
you are going to get extract string resource, an option known as extract string resource.
Yes.
Click on that extract string resource.
Okay.
Once you click on that extract string resource, a window, means a dialog will appear. Over
Yes.
there, you will find resource name, resource value accordingly will be coming automatically.
Yes, ma'am.
Just simply over there in the bottom, you have a OK button.
Yes.
Just click on that OK button to get it added in your string.resource file.
Okay.
So you will find it will now appear in this manner.
Yes.
Same process need to be followed for the other fields also. Okay, so I hope you people are getting this particular design,
Yes, ma'am.
isn't it? So have you, do any of you have any query prior to proceeding with this particular design and the codes ahead? Any query from anyone's side? Yes.
And if I in the hint part,
Mhm.
if I cut it, I mean, if I remove the address string name, and if I
Mhm.
write name again, then if I click on the string resource, it's that string resource, then
Mhm.
I have to change the name again. I mean, I can't set that string address string slash name. I have to
No,
change it
if
to
it is already there, understand the thing. The name means at the red string slash name. Why it is appearing like this? Because under the values file, so under res means resources, you have a folder name as values. And under this values file, you have a string.xml file. Just check it out. You have a string.xml file.
yes, ma'am.
Over there, it's got added up. All the things, not only name, password, phone, email, whatever the strings we have used and we have extracted in the string.resource file, those things are getting added up here. So if that particular name and the value already exist, we cannot retype the same name again and again, because these names are like variables. So
Oh,
under the
we're
same
doing this
file,
for saving it here. I
yes.
mean, that extract string list.
So that we can reuse the same thing again and again by this name provided.
Okay, ma'am.
And one thing, what's the, see, we can definitely have another string like this, string name 1. We can give a same value here, but the name is different. It's like the variable names, nothing else. And in a file, we cannot have same variable more than one. Can we have? Is it possible to have same variable name more than once?
No.
No. So if you are trying to do the same thing again, you are going to get the error. So I hope this portion is clear. Yeah. Yes.
Ma'am, what to do with the tip of the day option is coming? What to do
Just
it?
close the thing. Close that
Okay.
out.
Ma'am, under the image view portion, there is a good segment that content description string app name, but that
Yeah.
is not visible on the that white screen.
Yeah,
What
basically
that
the
is for?
content description means if I just remove this line,
Mm.
that will not affect our design. Rather, we are
Okay.
going to get one warning that what is the image view for. So the
Oh.
image view for what is the reason that has been described by this attribute, which is named as content description. That's it.
Okay. Okay. And where will it this appear? This app name in the screen it won't appear.
It
It
won't
means in the
appear
design.
anywhere. It won't appear anywhere. It is internally been managed by the Android software, the compiler actually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Ma'am, that means at the first when there is a string XML file resource, so we added the learn slash n.
Yes, learn and learn.
So that's the app name, right? Means for
This is
this.
the app name. This is the app
Means
name.
when we are going into the main activity under that layout, when we are clicking on that app name, that learn and font that is showing over there.
Yeah, this has basically been replaced. This is like the variable. We are just referring that variable,
It's showing
and
learn
the
and font.
content of the variable is learn and learn. So that's the thing.
Means the app name is not showing on the icon or means on the
No,
white
it won't be
the
shown.
blank page over
It
there,
won't be
but
shown over here. It will be
Hmm.
shown, but where it will be shown, we are going to check it out later.
okay, ma'am. Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, in
Yeah.
my previous section, I cannot find that logo thing. Means beside the name, beside the phone, that logo I cannot find.
Have you added this image chart icon drawable?
I have just last day I missed the code some part, so I just copied that part.
Okay, so
Right.
I'm just repeating once again how you can get the icons. For getting the icons, for adding the icons in your project, you have a drawable folder under res. You have a
Yes.
drawable folder under res. So
Yes.
you need to right click on this drawable folder.
Okay.
You need to right click on this drawable folder, click on new,
Yes.
and then you are going to get an option known as vector asset.
Yes.
So once you click on this vector asset, you will get a window in this manner, which is known as configure vector asset window.
Yes.
Now over here, you have a clip art option against which an image, any image by default, if you are using this for the first time, then you must be getting an Android image here.
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to double click on that. Once you double click on that, you are going to get a list of icons.
Yes, ma'am.
So from here, you can choose one icon, whichever is required. And once you choose that icon, click on OK. It will appear here. Click on next and finally finish.
So where that will be printed?
That will be added against this drawable folder. And then over here, just you need to type out, like I'm showing you, already this icon been added up. So I'm showing you how I have added this. So just you need to type out start icon drawable within double quotes, give @dr. Type out dr, whatever the available icons under drawable or draw, whatever the icons available under drawable, it will be shown. Among that, whichever is required, select it. It will be available accordingly.
Okay.
Ma'am, if we
the
want
default,
to, ma'am, if we want to change the app icon, so what do we have to do?
The process I've shown, I've discussed in the last class that you need to select an icon set, icon or the image, and you need to create that set of icons within the MIPMAP folder. I have just discussed that process. Once again, I'll be discussing that in the next half of today's session, so that if anyone have missed out, it will be easier for them to understand the thing. Yeah, next Koina. Yes, what's your query?
and the keyword start icon drawable is used for that
Icon in the
Inside.
section.
and that SRC is used for that main image icon.
SRC for the image view. In the
Okay.
image view, if you are going to get, means if you want to give an image, then SRC means source. So what is the source of that image? That path. This is the
Okay.
path where the image has been saved.
Okay. And under that input edit text, the type input type for phone, input type for name, that will be by default taken. While we are
Not by default taken. I have just added it here because the thing is that over here I'm adding this input type phone or thing because I want, when we'll be running the things in our device, I want the keypad to get opened accordingly.
oh, okay.
So for that, for getting that particular UI effect and all, so I am providing an attribute known as input type for each and every input field. So that accordingly, we are going to get that particular thing.
Okay.
Like in case of password, I've given input type text password. In case of email, it's email address. So accordingly, the keypad will keep on changing as per the selected edit text.
Okay.
Any other question, anyone? I guess no. So fine. So let's now continue with the process. As I said you in the last class, the theme and the colors I'm going to explain you today, but not immediately. Let the color, the combinations be like this as of now. Later on, I'm going to show you the changes. So before showing you any further code or anything, I want everyone to check whether you are getting exactly this particular design in your device on testing. So that particular process I'm going to discuss. That is how you can check, how you can test your application, whether it's running properly or not. And are you getting the correct design as per the one that you have mentioned here or you have designed over here. So the process of how to execute your app, how to run your app. Now, before showing that process, I want to ask you, what is the type of file that we need to install in our mobile phone to get our application installed? What is the file?
.apk.
Yeah.
.exe.
APK.
.exe is for Windows, for mobile it is .apk.
Okay.
That Android package. So here also a APK file will be generated and it will be installed in your device. So first of all, I am discussing for them those who will be using emulator. Those who will be using emulator, if you have set up your emulator, that is the Android virtual device, then you must be getting the virtual device name over here at the top, the place where I'm hovering right now. I repeat, only for those who have set up the virtual device, want to execute your app in your virtual device, they can test the application in your virtual device if your device name is enlisted here. So are you getting the name, those who have set up the emulator?
Yes.
Okay, okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, fine. So now, right of it, you have a run app, the play button. So once you click on this run app, you will find the Gradle build running process is getting started at the bottom side. At the bottom, it's running.
Can you please repeat from the beginning about this process?
Yes, you have the simulator name over here. Right of it, you have a play button which is colored in green. So you need to press that green colored button to start the process of execution. Once the process of execution will started, your emulator will, the emulator screen may be embedded in your Android Studio or separately it will be opened in your system, and you will find the installation of the application will take place. Now, in my case, the application, I hope it's been installed. Yes.
Ma'am, it's showing an error that cannot extract resource from com.android.apt compiler, something like that.
Where you are getting that error? When you are getting that error?
Ma'am, after I press that Pixel 4, I have downloaded, and after beside that is run button. I press the run button. Then after that is showing.
Acha, just let me confirm. Are you getting app over here? Android icon and app over here.
Ma'am, should I screenshot?
Okay, share your screen. But before that, I want to interrupt. See,
Yes.
everyone, check it out. The application has been executed in my screen, and you can find the exact design that we have done over here. The one
Yes,
we are
ma'am, it is showing exactly the
That's
same
what
design.
the thing. And one more thing, Learn and Fun, the app name which I have given.
Over
Ma'am,
the
it
top.
is showing no
Yes,
no
ma'am.
emulators are currently running.
No emulator currently running. Okay. That also I'm giving the solution one by one. Every solution I'm giving. Acha, let me press the back button. Let me press the back button. Now, let me show you all app. Now, over here, if I zoom it, I hope you people are finding Learn and Fun and the icon which I have set for our application that is been visible. So the processes that we have followed in the last class is working in this manner. Now, I'll be getting back to your problems, those who are facing issues one after another, I'm going to solve this. Then I'll be back to the application again. Okay, the very first problem that one of you have shared, who's that?
Yes, ma'am.
Please present your screen. I'm stopping my presentation. Please present your screen and share your problem.
Ma'am, can you see it?
Yes, I can see it. Just a second.
তো এসডিকে কম্পাইলারে ডাউনলোড করেছিলিস?
Just a second, 1 second, just a second.
Yes, ma'am. I'm also facing the same problem.
Okay. Yes. Who's sharing on the rip? On the rip, just show me can't extract Android. Okay. Click on the very first line that you are getting on the left in the bottom side. Build output. Yeah, click over there. Okay, I think I got your point. You have error in your code. Minimize the emulator section. Minimize this build output section. Minimize the emulator section as well. Yes. Now see, VPN key, the one you have added, the icon is the icon there. Oh, you have given a space. Remove the space. After 24, you have added a space. So if you have any error, I want to point it out to everyone. If you have any error in your code, you are going to get those things. The compilation will stop there. So now try to compile. I hope you can execute your application.
No, it's still going.
It's still Dreidel build running, it's showing. Okay, it's stopped. Okay, click on the app merger, that build Android learning one. Click on that. The very top option
Yes.
in the build output section.
Can you see it, ma'am?
Yes, scroll up. Right hand side, those things are showing. Just scroll up at the top. Okay, just scroll down a bit. I hope there will be a bit of red lines here, something str. Okay, scroll down. You have some issues related to your material design setup, if I'm not wrong. Okay, minimize the section. I'm saying you what you need to do. Minimize the section. Now click on build menu. Minimize at the top. Click on the build menu.
Yes, ma'am.
Click on rebuild project. Once you rebuild your project, it will figure out the errors if you have.
No, it's showing correct one.
No, it's
No, no.
see,
Okay.
see. Once it complete, then only it can figure out no errors. Okay, so click on the resource compilation failed one. Yes, this one. Scroll up. This is the first statement. Compilation failed intermediate. Just drag right side. Let me see where exactly you have done the mistake. No,
This
not in the, yeah, in the, yes, the red colors statements. Resources. Yeah, okay. Scroll values. I hope you have error some values in the value section. This caused in the values.xml file. Yes. Just open the value section. Let me see your string.xml file.
From here.
Left hand side values folder.
Oh,
You have string.xml file. Open that string.xml file. See, I have a slash before the single quote, but you have mentioned the slash after the single quote. That's an error. Means between fun and single quote, you have given a slash. Oh, after slash, there will be the single quote for the second case. Yes. Yeah. This is the mistake for the what you are getting that error. Now try to run your application. It will. I hope it is going to run. I guess there is no more errors you have. Okay, who's the next?
Yeah,
Who's
my virtual device is not working now. It was working before, but now after running the emulator, it is
Why
not
not then present your screen? Let me see what's the problem.
okay, ma'am. Sure. Ma'am, this one here, the white screen is not appearing.
Okay, click on the play button. Yes, that play button. Emulator is running, I guess. See in the right hand side in the bottom. Yes,
This
your
one.
emulator is running. Yes. Minimize the device manager section. The top one. Minimize that. Yes. Click on the power button to turn on your emulator. Yeah. See, it's visible now.
Yes, ma'am, and that virtual device, or that was in the device manager, that is not appearing.
That is device manager is the place where your device is located. Nothing else.
Yes,
So from
ma'am.
there you're going to access the thing.
I mean that white
That
screen.
will not show. That will not show the play one. It is running means it is okay.
Oh, okay.
You need to check at the top. See, at the top is written a Pixel 4 API 31. Right of
Yes,
it,
ma'am.
you have a play button, then apply button, those things.
Yes.
Top, at the top. Not over there. Yes, those rows. So you need to
Okay.
check over there.
Okay, and
When
how to stop this emulator?
when you need to stop the simulator, it will the Gradle will just rebuild to the applications once again. It will be stopped. If you close the emulator, it will be closed accordingly.
Okay.
Just do not stop it at moment because we are going to progress on it, so that you can
Okay.
check the effect accordingly.
Okay.
Okay. So now the next.
Ma'am,
Now the next who's there?
I'm facing the same error.
Why not stop sharing your screen?
Yes, ma'am, I have stopped.
Ma'am,
Yes. Share your
I-
screen, Omishwar,
yes,
if
ma'am.
you have any problem. Acha, device manager emulator
Ma'am,
has.
can you see?
Yes, I can see.
Yes, ma'am.
Device manager emulator has terminated. You have error in your code. Ognishore, same problem like on Torip, you have issues in your string.xml file line number 2. So once you resolve those problems, then only it is going to work. Line number 2. Okay. Fine. Line number 2.
So what is the error?
Line number 2, the slashes and those quotes are not proper. Line number 2, check the line number.
Oh, yes, yes, ma'am. I have given the slash before the single quote.
Yes, but with a space also, dear.
Here, or where to reduce
Yes,
the
over
space?
there. No, over there. The first code you have added, no? Slash and there should be no space. And after n, there should be a space. Give a space, now try to just execute your application. And before executing your application, listen.
Yes, ma'am.
Turn on the emulators, click on the play button of the emulator, then only it is going to run and it will be visible. And if any of you facing issue related to running the emulator, you can check it out in your real device. How to check in your real device, that process I'm going to discuss right now. So related to emulator, anyone else have any problem, any query?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, share your screen, Niladri. Ognisha, stop sharing your screen. Your emulator is detaching each and every time. You are facing some issue from your system side, Ognisha. Either Pixel 4 is not getting supported in your device or some sort of problem.
Ma'am,
Yes, Niladri, share your screen.
So, ma'am, should I uninstall it and install some other version?
You are showing from your camera, back camera. Are you showing from your back camera?
No, ma'am.
Yes.
I'm sharing my screen.
But why is it showing in this way? In this way, why is it showing in this way? Just stop sharing and share once again. Share once again.
Am I visible, ma'am? Maybe it's not running.
Just a second, wait. Okay, single code is not valid. Okay, same problem. Go back to the NEDP XML file, single code. Acha, open, first of all, open your string.xml file. Let me check there.
Yes, ma'am.
Acha, it's fine. Open your NEDP, that particular file. Learn and fun, background, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Close this file. Close this file from there. Yes. Now in the left hand side, minimize this below section, that the build output section, minimize it. It's fine, it's fine. Okay, now app over there, you have an error. Okay, click on the build option, build at the top, build menu. Rebuild project.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, same problem over here. Background adaptive, single code, double learn and fun, background learn and. Okay, you have a space there. That's the reason. I got the reason. Okay, minimize the thing. I'm saying you. What's the problem over here? Now see, under your values folder, left hand side, under the values folder, you have learn and fun background.xml file. Under values folder, first of all, check out values folder, find out values folder.
Yes, ma'am. Values folder.
The second file, right click on that file, right click.
Yes,
okay, no need to right click. Okay, okay, fine. Right click, you have done right click.
Yes, ma'am.
Right click on that file. Then do refractor.
Yes,
Rename.
ma'am.
Rename. Remove the space from learn and fun. Do not give any space. If you want, you can give underscore or something. Do not give any space. Click on refractor.
Override.
Yes. Now in this color one, learn and fun, again, remove the spaces. Okay. Now it's fine. Now go back to NEDP, that one. NEDP, that one. I hope now it will resolve the error once you rebuild the project once again. Click on menu, rebuild your project once again. I'm saying to everyone, please, no one will give any space in between the file names. It is going to show you error again. Acha, Niladri, when you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
saving the file of the image set, you have given over there spaces, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the reason why the entire project is getting hanged. You need to remove all the spaces from all the places. You can give underscore, you can give some number or something, but not space. It is not allowed.
Okay, ma'am.
No capital letters, no spaces. See, in under MipMap, all the folders learn and fun, all folders and file having spaces. For that, your entire project is going to suffer. It's suffering actually within MipMap. Under MipMap, just expand MipMap and check the list of files and folder that you have.
Yes, ma'am. Here is learn fun.
Yeah. So those things, if you have spaces, just remove out those spaces and then you are good. I hope learn and fun again you have done. So delete those things, those images. Yeah, right click, refractor, delete. Refractor, save, delete. Right click, refractor, save, delete. Again, right click, refractor, save, delete. Yes, Ognisha, what's your query?
Ma'am, if you are downloading a new version of the virtual device, a separate version, then how can we delete the previous version that was installed?
New version of virtual device. Acha, you want to delete the previous version? You want to delete the previous version? Hello? Now you can run your application, Niladri.
Ma'am, why is
It
my
will sync
output?
properly. You won't get the output because you are just rebuilding your project, means syncing your project as a whole. So once the syncing will be done, at the bottom it will show that it is finished. Then you need to click on that play button that you have at the top.
Yes,
Pixel,
ma'am.
yes, this one you need to click. afterwards, once this process is completed, the running process which is going on at the bottom side. Once it's complete, then you can click on the play button to play the thing. I mean, to test your application. Okay,
Ma'am?
so now you can dismiss your screen.
Yes.
Next, yes.
Ma'am?
Akash was
Ma'am,
there.
it's showing could not initialize class org.
ORG,
version.
initialize ORG.
Yes.
Acha. So haven't you installed the things previously?
Yes, ma'am, I have installed.
Okay, I need to check just a second. Before that, Akash have some query. Akash, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, what's your query?
And there show some warnings, like
Some warning. Where you are getting the warning?
ma'am, I share my
Where? Initialization.
1 second, ma'am. Are you facing my screen?
Your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. Repeat once again where you are getting the warning.
Mm. Ma'am, there shows some warnings like insufficient image color contrast ratio and
Your
insufficient
screen
color.
is visible. But your voice is breaking a lot. I cannot understand at all what you are saying.
Ma'am, is it visible? Ma'am, is it visible now? There shows some warnings like insufficient image color contrast ratio and
No, I think you are having some network issue. That's the reason you cannot present your screen properly. Yes, it's showing in vague. Okay. Insufficient, that's not a problem. Leave it. Leave those things. Do not ignore those warnings
okay, ma'am.
for now. Ignore those warnings. Okay. Next, who having problem?
Ma'am, in the strings.xml, if I want to change the name, it is not
Yes.
showing in the emulator. So I have Android Learning there, but while I type Lanis one, it is not showing in the emulator.
Okay. So means after running the thing, I mean after execution, then you have made the changes, I guess.
Yes.
So in that case, you need to rerun the application once again to get the current effect.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now, who else? Who else? Hmm.
I'm trying to pair a physical device, and first time it was connected,
Physical
but there was some issues.
device, I'm saying physical device, the processes.
And
Just a
ma'am,
second.
actually,
Ma'am,
ma'am, actually, first time it was connected, but later I forgot
That's
it,
the
and
reason
I mean,
I will be discussing this, because physical device connection, depending on the mobile phone companies, it's different a bit of from one company to another. So that process I'm going to discuss. Acha, Abhirup, Apurvo. So Apurvo,
ma'am.
yes, what's your query? Just share your screen and show me what's the problem you're getting.
And here it is.
Could not initialize. Acha. Click on build Android learning. Click on build Android learning.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
the virtual device is not getting supported on my PC, on my laptop. So how can I delete them from my system? So that I can use the.
I'm showing you from the device manager. You have a delete option. The name showing the pixel something whatever
Yes,
you have. Just right of it. You have 3 dots or some edit sort of option.
So a down arrow is there. A down arrow is there.
Acha, I'm showing once again. Acha, who's this? Oh, Apurvo, just
Hmm.
scroll up to that area. Yes, let me see what's the issue you have. What's went wrong? Cannot create services. This. Just drag to the right hand side. Create actionable execution. Drag. As there is a parameter /18. Okay. Of type. Have you given some sort of slash means hash code 18 or something like
No,
that?
ma'am.
Where?
No, ma'am.
But it's showing something like that only. Okay, do one thing. Rebuild your project. The only solution is rebuild your project, then only we can just do one thing. Click on file menu. Yes. Click over there, you have an option for invalidate caches.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, click over there. Now click on checkbox, clear those things. Yeah, checkbox. Now click on invalidate and restart. So it will restart your applications as a whole. Let it restart, then we are going to just check it out. If you means follow the process. If you face any difficulty, then let me know again. Okay. Stop
Okay.
sharing the screen. Asha, I hope no one else have any.
Yes, ma'am. How to delete the
Yes,
workspace?
that only I'm showing. For that, I need to share my screen. Now check it out whether my screen is visible or not.
Yes, ma'am.
It's visible now. If you want to delete the device, means your virtual device, click on the device manager. You must be getting your device name and all. So over here, you have a drop down option. Clicking on the drop down option, you will get a delete. Click on delete. It will be deleted from your device. From your device in the sense from your system. Now I'm discussing for those who want to connect your real device. Now for connecting real device, at moment Android Studio providing two processes. One process is connecting the wireless form of your device, and the another process is connecting via USB. First of all, I'm discussing how to connect via USB. For connecting via USB, you need to turn on the developer's option settings in your device. For turning on the developer's option settings, you need to click on About Phone. Click on About Phone. After clicking on About Phone, you have an option like build version or build number.
Ma'am, excuse me.
Yes.
So now I've seen that I am having some problem. I have some 7 errors. So can
7
I
errors.
screen share and show?
Okay, but wait a bit. Let me complete this discussion. Then you will share your screen.
Okay, ma'am. Then you will tell me that after I will share.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, you need to turn on the developers option. You can enable your developers option by clicking on build number or build version. Those who are having MI phone, they can click on MI UI versions. You need to tap on it approximately 7 to 8 times. Once you tap on it, it will show you are now a developer. After showing you are now a developer, just get back from that window and check it out where your developer's option settings is present. So get into that settings portion of your developer's option. Turn on your developments. It will be turned on. The developer's option will be enabled. Just scroll down. You will get USB debugging option. Enable that USB debugging option.
Where to get the developers option in setting?
Just search it out because different phones have different places now. Search it out in the search bar.
Yes, ma'am. Developer options I got.
Yes, open that.
Yes, ma'am.
Scroll down, you will get an option known as USB debugging.
Yes,
And we
ma'am.
have to do this right now, or if anyone
No,
is having any problem.
those who want to test the application in their real device, they need to follow this process.
Ma'am, can you please repeat the steps?
Yes, I'm repeating once again. Listen
It's
carefully.
better if you just show it on this in your screen so that we can.
But I cannot present my real device. Na? How I'm going to present my real device here?
Okay, okay.
Ma'am, there is two types of USB debugging. One is
Sorry?
USB debugging and another is USB debugging security setting.
Yes, I'm coming to that point only. Those who are having MI phone, they will get an additional option, that is USB debugging security settings.
Yes, ma'am.
So you need to turn on that also.
Both.
Both. If you are using Redmi MI phones, then you need to turn on USB debugging, install via USB debugging system security. All these things need to be turned on. Then connect your USB with your laptop or with your desktop, and you will find your phone name will appear here. Instead of Pixel 2, it will, or Pixel or whatever, no emulator, no device connected, whatever is showing, instead of that, you are going to get your real device phone name. I'm repeating the process which I've said once again. Follow the steps properly. To test your application in your real Android device, there is two processes. One process is connecting your USB cord with your laptop or system, whatever, and connecting your device there. For that, you need to make your device to work as a developer's device. To make your system working as a developer's device, you need to turn on the developer's option. For turning on the developer's option, click on settings, move on to about phone option. Once you move on to about phone option, you are going to get the options like either build number or build version or MIUI version number, those kind of things. Depending on your mobile phone companies, the options will be available. You need to tap on this option approximately 7 to 8 times until and unless it shows you are now a developer. Once it shows you are now a developer, that means your mobile phone will behave like a developer's device. Now get back from that position. In your settings, within your settings, just search out where your developer's option, that new settings is enabled. Get into that position. Open that developer's option. Just check it out whether it is enabled or not. After checking whether it is enabled, scroll down, you will get the option for USB debugging. Those who are MI users, additionally, you are going to get install via USB option, which you need to turn on. As well as you are going to get USB debugging system security. You need to turn on that also.
We have to turn on all three.
Yes, MI users need to turn on all the threes. And then only you are going to get the phone name available over here, visible over here. Just check it out.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
To find your device name available over here, that confirms that your device is a developer's device and your Android Studio is connecting with your system. When you connect your USB debugging, a pop-up will appear over your device like, do you want to transfer the things, those sort of, or connect the device as debugging device, something like that sort of. So you need to allow that option, otherwise you are not going to get that effect. Once you allow this option, the device name will appear here, and right of it you have a play button. Like the way the process of emulators goes on, same process you need to follow for your device also. I hope the process is clear. USB debugging process is clear.
Ma'am, after USB debugging, please repeat.
You
After
need to
all.
turn on USB debugging option. If you are MI user, then you need to turn on USB debugging system security install via USB as well. After that,
Ma'am, that
connect
has to be downloaded in full.
your APK will instantly downloaded and installed in your device.
Okay.
And it will open like the way it has been opened in the emulator. That similar way it will open up. But for those who are
Ma'am, it is asking in install via USB install, then I will click on install.
yes, otherwise it will deny the operation. That is what I'm supposed to say, that those who are MI user, you will additionally get a permission in your device and alert in your device that you need to install the APK or not. Click on install now, otherwise the permission will be denied.
Ma'am, can you please repeat after connecting the USB debugging after connecting the USB, what you need to do?
After connecting your USB, your device name will be available over here. You are going to get an alert that you need to enable. Then you will get the play button. Simply click on the play button. The process will start.
Yes, ma'am,
Now,
it's showing on my mobile.
Showing your mobile, that means it's fine. Understood? Now, the next one, that is if you want to connect with your Wi-Fi, means if you don't want to connect with your USB, but if you are connect with the same Wi-Fi, then you can either go for the wireless option also. So in that case, you don't need to connect your USB. You can enable the wireless debugging option available under the developers option setting. Either you can tap on it to scan the QR code, or you can use some pairing code to connect your device.
No, I was getting problem here only. Actually, I connected it once and then I did
Forgot the
forget
thing.
it.
So in that
Yes,
case,
ma'am.
what you need to do, just in that case, is get back to your device manager. In the physical option, just delete that phone from here. And then
Ma'am, I've done that too, and then I tried again to connect it, but it was showing like it will take 2 minutes, but even after waiting, it's showing that
that
it's
means
not
there is some
happening.
there is some USB Wi-Fi issues or something like that. The connection is not
Ma'am,
being established.
should I have to connect both the laptop and my mobile to the same Wi-Fi network, or
Yes,
can I
yes,
connect
that
to
is what
different?
I said. If you are connected through the same Wi-Fi network, then only you are going to get the access.
All
Otherwise, you
right,
need
ma'am.
to follow the USB one.
But ma'am, first time when I did it, I did from different Wi-Fi networks, but
I don't think
that
so.
happened.
I don't
No,
think so. Because
I did it.
until and unless you are in a same network, it will not allow you to do so. It denies the process.
But ma'am, first time it happened. I don't know how.
But I haven't ever seen that it is allowing you.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So these are the process how you can test your application in your virtual device and your real device. Now, before proceeding further, Devapriya want to share your screen. So Devapriya, share your screen and show me the error you are getting.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, after restarting, everything is covered under red line now.
Ma'am, 1 minute I'm connecting with the
Ma'am?
laptop. 1 minute.
Hello.
Yes,
Ma'am, now everything is covered under red line.
is
And
it
the scene.
syncing? I guess it's syncing still.
No,
Check
ma'am, it
where
has
your
synced.
screen.
Ma'am, my Pixel 4 is crashing each and every time I try to do something.
Sorry, Abhijit?
Ma'am, my Pixel 4 is crashing every time I do open the app. I mean, the
I
system
think
UI is crashing.
the Pixel, the emulator takes a lot of space and memory. So if your device is not so strong enough, it is going to give you the error.
Okay, ma'am.
You are connected with internet, but the syncing failed. Click on try again. It's showing
Well,
it's failed. At the top, you have an option for try again. Try
Ma'am,
again,
is it,
try again. Blue line. No, try again. I
ma'am,
guess. Hey, just a second. Apurvo, your entire project structure is not built up properly. Have you followed the process which I have discussed?
yes, ma'am.
Because the project structure which has been shown in the left hand side is something is totally different from the one we all are getting. Android learning, then Android learning 1. That's the reason why you're getting the issues. What is your project name? Android learning or Android learning 1?
Ma'am, first I have built a folder named Android Learning, and inside that I have another folder named Android Learning 1.
That's the reason why it's getting the problem. You need to create your project afresh.
Okay, ma'am.
Cancel this project. You need to create the project afresh. Otherwise, this error will persist.
Okay, ma'am.
As a next, who's that facing the issue?
ma'am, is it more beneficial to use physical device or emulator in this case?
See, one thing I will always say that physical device testing in a physical device is good enough than to use emulator. First thing, emulator take up the unnecessary spaces and give you means hit your processor a lot when it's run. The Android Studio is itself is a very heavy software, and apart from that, when the emulators runs, it also give a it uses a lots of processor. So, and additionally, when you check it out in your real device, you will get all the functionalities, real functionalities like calling, cameras, those affect in the real life scenario. So it will
Yes,
be definitely easier for you test your application in a real device apart from the virtual device. But for
ma'am.
some means for testing purpose, means daily testing purpose or something, if you have a strong device, then definitely you can think about using a virtual device.
Ma'am,
Sure.
ma'am, I have installed my Android Studio in my SSD, but I have created the folders in hard disk. So, is there any problem?
I always said you that C drive you need to choose.
Yes, ma'am. I have installed that in C drive, which is
Then
my.
why SSD and then the question of hard disk is
Ma'am,
coming.
but the folders, projects, I mean.
Project, that won't be an issue.
Okay, ma'am.
Acha, Devapriyo, say, what's your problem?
Yes, I'm sharing screen. Yes, sir. Can you see?
Now it's visible. You have error in your code.
Yes, ma'am. 7 errors.
Yes, scroll down. Let me see some image related errors or icon related errors. I hope you have. Scroll down. Yeah, I just explained you how to get the icons and how to apply the string files, strings. Follow the process to get rid of the errors, otherwise it will persist.
Tell me once again, please.
The process you followed for the name one, have you understood the process? For the name field, I can see for the name field you have completed the process. The input field that you have for the name. নামের জন্য যে ইনপুট ফিল্ডটা আছে সেখানে যে প্রসেসটা ফলো করেছো সেম প্রসেস নিড টু বি ফলোড হিয়ার ওখানে নিয়েছো তো হিন্ট আর
এখানে হিন্ট স্ল্যাশ নেম ছিল
কিন্তু
এখানে
ওখানে তো নেম
string-
লিখেছো না ওখানে নেম লিখে ওটা অ্যাড করেছো না এক্সট্রাক্ট করেছো স্ট্রিং রিসোর্স ফাইলে সেম প্রসেসটা এখানেও করতে হবে শুধু এখানে না সব জায়গায় করতে হবে না হলে হবে না
না ম্যাম বুঝতে পারছি আগেরটাতে তো লেআউট নেম ছিল তাই জন্য name দিয়েছি মানে এই যে এইখানটা
আইডি বলছি না হিন্ট বলছি হিন্ট আর আইডি দেখো ভালো করে কোথায় এরর পাচ্ছ তুমি কি আইডিতে এরর পাচ্ছ না তুমি হিন্টে এরর পাচ্ছ
হ্যাঁ
সো
তাহলে এখানটা কি লেখা হবে স্ট্রিং ফোনের জায়গায়
স্ট্রিং ফোন তো এক্সট্রাক্ট করা হয়েছে স্ট্রিং ডট রিসোর্স ফাইলে তারপর স্ট্রিং ফোন আসবে এখানে তো ফোন লিখতে চাই কি দেখাতে চাই ইউজারকে ফোন হিসেবে দেখাতে চাই তো
হ্যাঁ
তার মানে এখানে ফোন লিখতে হবে আমি আবার বলছি এই স্টেপসটা ফলো করো cancel your sharing
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম করেছি
okay
Ma'am, the name of the device is sometimes flickering in Android Studio. Sometimes it is just becoming device and then again it is coming back.
USB connection there is a USB connection is not stable that's the reason maybe it is means getting some conflict or something like that
Okay.
that's the issue nothing else if your USB is connected well it will show your device name properly
Yes, ma'am. Now it is showing positive.
okay once again for the last time I'm showing you how you can extract your string you need to type out exactly the name that you want to appear over here like email you want email to appear here so you need to type out that text after typing out that text click over here you will get a bulb click on the bulb click on extract string resource on clicking on extract string resource the name and value will be available by default then click on OK once you click on OK you are going to get the replacement of your email text with @string/email or whichever is your field is clear now
yes ma'am this part is clear then the drawable IC Android
for
part,
that you
there is
need
an
to
error.
take the icon for taking the icon you need to right click on drawable after right clicking on drawable you have a new option you need to click on new and then you need to click on vector asset image asset no vector asset now you have a clip art option here and here whatever the icon is showing double click on that you will get the list of icons among this list of icons choose the icon that you want choose that icon click on OK click on next and then click on finish then apply that icon here by giving like after start icon drawable you have double quotes like this type here @DRAW draw so that means the drawable initial Now you'll get the name of the icon, select the icon that you want to display. It will appear accordingly.
Okay,
This
ma'am.
process you need to follow. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, fine. So I hope now I can finally proceed to the next part. So you can find it out that the thing is walking, the filled, I mean keypad, Koina and all those who are asking me input type, what is the essence of applying input type? See, the keypad is changing accordingly. Like when I click over here in the email one, @.com, those kind of things are appearing automatically. Now, if I type out password, it is showing as a dotted form. Automatically, if we click on this I button, it is showing, means the password is visible. So you don't have to means give that particular functionality by yourself. The function is been given by Android SDK automatically. Just by clicking over the I, you can make your password visible and invisible accordingly. But see, on clicking sign up, nothing is happening because we have not done any event handling yet now. So the next process which I'm going to show you, that is how to handle an event. So up to here, it's clear, I hope. Can I proceed further to show you how to handle the event?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So for that, everyone get back to the Java folder that you have. Java folder, not the Java generated, Java folder. Expand it. You have the very first package over here, whatever it is. In my case, it's com.js.android learning. In your case, whatever it is, just move to that particular package. Always remember, within Java folder, this is the very first package that will appear. And within this package only, you need to save all your class files. I repeat, within this package only, you need to save all your class files. Class files means the Java related files. And do you have any idea what is package? Anyone? What is package? Any idea?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay. Let me explain you
The
then.
collection of classes or source codes in one location.
Yeah. So in a simple words, it's like a folder. A folder that contains similar kind of files. Files in the sense, the Java files are generally categorized as class files, means which contains the classes. Since it's an object-oriented programming language, everything's are in form of classes. We cannot write procedures like in case of C programming language or in case of C++ we used to write. Only we can define classes. Apart from classes, another form is basically known as interface. Now, I hope you know what is a class. So,
Representation of objects.
sorry?
Class is a representation of objects. Blueprint.
Representation of object. Acha.
It is a template for creating object.
Template for creating object. Okay. Any other thing? Any other definition? Any other definition? What is a class?
Collection of similar entities.
Collection of similar entities. Acha, okay. Any other way? Okay, let me see. Basically, class can be defined as a blueprint of an object. That is a template which contains the data members and methods. In case of C, C++, you have learned how to write procedures. Those means functions. those procedures or functions when written within a class, we call it as method. We don't call anymore as function, rather we call it as method. So over here, method and data members, means the variables, are contained together or bind together within a block, within a template, which is known as a class. So let me open this main activity.java file. Whenever we are going to save a file, we need to give the extension .java to specify that it is a Java file. So you can find it out, class followed by the file name or the class name. And the class name, it's written in the format of Pascal case. Pascal case means the first character of the words will be in uppercase. That is known as Pascal case. And in all other cases, like in the case of other identifiers like variable name or the method name, we follow the format of camel case.
What case?
Camel case, Pascal
Camel
case.
case. Okay.
Yes. Camel case. And this one is known as Pascal case or upper camel case. Now here, as I said you in the previous session, that activity means a building block of Android project. An activity in other terms can be said as a representation of a screen. Activity means a screen of our application. So it is a class. I'm giving a class name. To make this class behaving as an activity, it is inheriting a superclass known as AppCompactActivity. Unlike C++, we don't give colon over here. Rather, we use the keyword extends to inherit the property of its parent class, which is basically known as superclass. That is why it's written as class main activity extends AppCompactActivity, which signifies that this particular class will behave like an activity, like a screen. So I hope it's clear by the statement what it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, prior to this statement, you can find a keyword public. In Java, we have 4 kinds of access specifiers. I repeat, in Java, there are 4 kinds of access specifiers. So what is access specifier? Access specifier means a keyword which will configure or which will specify what is the limitation and scope of that identifier. I repeat, it will specify the limitation and scope of an identifier. So what are the 4 access specifiers? The 4 access specifiers are number 1, public, number 2, private, number 3, protected, and number 5 as default. Public, private, protected, default. That is the 4. Public, private, protected, default. 4 kinds of access specifiers. Now, what do you mean by public? I'm explaining public at moment. Then gradually I'll be using the modifiers and I'm going to explain you. Public means it will be accessible to your entire project. We want this class to be accessible to our entire project. That's why it is marked as public. So now, as a whole, I hope this statement is clear. If anyone have any query, do ask me. Any query, anyone, related to the statement? Yes, hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so any query, anyone, related to this statement?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now, since this activity is inheriting from its parent class, which is an inbuilt class present within the Android SDK, that is App Compact Activity. That particular class have a method named as onCreate. So here a method is getting overridden. That is the kind of dynamic polymorphism, also known as runtime polymorphism, overriding the same class, the same method that of its parent. So this is overriding. I hope you have heard about polymorphism. Same method in different forms, in multiple forms. So polymorphism is applied in object-oriented programming languages. And same in case of Java, object-oriented programming language, it is purely object-oriented programming language. So the concept of polymorphism is being followed. Polymorphism is categorized into two. One is method overloading, also known as, let me give a write-ups to you also. It will be easier for you, I guess, in that case. As well as I'm going to give you some sort of tutorials or something like that, so that from there you can understand the thing. That is Java, you can study from there a bit. So the first thing which I have discussed as class is a blueprint of an object. In other words, a template that contains the variables, that is the data members, and methods. Object means a real life entity. Object means a real life entity that have an existence. Next is that I have discussed access, modifiers, the scope and limitation of an identifier is determined by the keyword those are public, private, protected, and default. Public means accessible throughout the project. Accessible throughout the project. Private means limited to the class or structure, maybe method or something, whatever, where it is defined. Limited to the class or structure where it is defined. Protected means limited to the package and the subclass belonging to the other package, if any. And default means limited to the package only, but behaves otherwise behaves as public. Acha. And the first, and before that I have discussed package. Package means the folder, in simple word, the folder that contains similar kind of classes and interfaces and sub packages. So clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what is method? Method means a thing, means a structure that will specify what type of times, I mean, what kind of operation will be conducted. What is the task to be performed? So that is basically method. Now, the thing I was discussing is polymorphism. M-O-R-P-H-I-S-M. Polymorphism. It's defined as same thing in different forms. Same thing in different forms. Types of polymorphism. Static or compile time polymorphism, M-O-R-P-H-I-S-M, or method overloading. We don't have operator overloading over here like in case of C++, mind it. Dynamic or runtime polymorphism or method overriding. This actually takes place within same class, and this in case of subclasses, because the availability will depend on runtime. That's why in case of subclasses it depends. Let me save the file with a name in the desktop only. Let me save it. Or okay, in the E drive as JIS Android Java .text. Now let me get back to the Android Studio now. Okay. So here, override. This is known as annotation in case of Java. This method is overridden. Just to mark this method, it's an overridden method. This kind of marker is used, which is known as annotation. Now the question might comes to your mind, will it any effect if I don't give it? No, it won't be. It won't be. It won't give any effect. There will be no changes. Okay. So shall I proceed now?
Yes, ma'am.
So now within this method, see, this method is overridden. So it's an parameterized one. Now this is what means super is a keyword over here in case of Java. When a method present in a subclass is same as the method present in a superclass, and if they need to, and if we want the superclass method to be executed simultaneously or along with the subclass method, overridden method, then we need to call this statement. So this statement means that executing the superclass method. Which method? This particular method which is present in the superclass.
Can you please repeat?
Yes, I'm repeating once again. The method on create is present in the superclass. And from that superclass, it is getting inherited over here. That is means overridden over here. So when we create an object of a class and when we call the method, we actually get the access of the method which is redefined in the subclass. So in that case, if we want not only to execute the method present in subclass, along with that, if we want the same method which is present in the superclass to get executed, so you need to call the statement. That means you need to call the method followed by the super keyword and a dot, which refers to the same method present in the superclass. Okay, clear now?
Okay, ma'am.
Now the next, set content view. Set content view is a method given within the onCreate or specified within the onCreate where we need to pass the layout file. So which is our layout file? Activity_main is our layout file. Layout file means the design file of our screen. So it has been specified that activity_main is the layout file which is present within the resource. So R represent the resource folder within which the layout folder is present, and within that the file is present. Now, before making any further changes or writing any other code over here, I'm going to show you the format which is followed in case of recent Android programs. So for that, you need to open your Project Explorer. Within the Project Explorer, you have a Gradle script folder, a Gradle script option. Expand it.
Can you please repeat the process?
Yes, open your Project Explorer, expand your Gradle script. Expand your Gradle script. Now you will find two build.gradle files. You need to open up the second build.gradle file, which is known as module file. You need to open that. So I guess everyone of you are getting this kind of codes over there. Just check
Yes,
it
ma'am.
out. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now scroll down a bit to the portion of compile options. To the portion of compile options, scroll down there. And after the closing curly braces of this block, put enter. Put enter. Type out build feature. Build feature. Oh, sorry. BUILD.
And this will be after compile options.
Yes, after compile option, the curly braces. Build features. Then the curly braces. Type out view binding true. View binding true. Build features, open the curly braces. Within the curly braces, view binding true. After writing this, you will find an option appearing at the top where you have written sync now. So click on the sync now option to sync your project once again. That means applying this feature to your project.
Ma'am, after build features, can you repeat one time?
Build feature, write out the statement. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, type out this. After completion of the statement, you will get the option over here as sync now. You need to click on that sync now option. You will find your project will sync, and if there is no error in this file, that means if you have written the statement properly, then it will execute, it will compile, it will sync your project, build up your project once again afresh, applying this functionality to your project.
Ma'am, after syncing, there are three errors which are coming on the right hand side of the page. So can I show it to you? I don't know where it's showing the errors.
Show it.
Ma'am, I am joining from the laptop, okay, so that I can show
Awesome.
it.
Okay. So I hope those means if you have written the statement correctly and your project is synced properly, you are getting the screen like the way I'm getting it right now.
Ma'am, the same three error are shown in the rightmost corner of my screen also.
Same error. Okay, so any of you to the corner, if you are there from the system, just share your screen so that I can check it out. What is the error you are getting?
Okay, ma'am.
The errors are showing a newer version is available.
Yes, ma'am. This
Error. Then that is not error. Rather, that is the
warning. These three warnings.
Yes, warnings. These are warnings, not errors. The app compact version, you have 1.3.0, so which is available as 1.4.2. It's there already in my system. So that's why I was not getting in the warning, but you people are getting the warning. So what do you need to
Should
do?
we click on change to 1.6.1? Like there is an option in
Ma'am,
that
Yeah, so
error.
I'm saying you minimize this. I'm saying you minimize this, Koina.
Yes, ma'am.
Now scroll down. Scroll down. The yellow colored one. I mean, the lines implementations over there. The portion is yellow colored, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Dependency. Click in any of the one.
Okay.
Anywhere. Any of the one. Just click. See, you are getting a yellow bulb.
Yes, ma'am.
Click on
yes.
that yellow bulb.
Ma'am, change to 1.4.2 options
Yes.
coming.
Yes. So like that, you need to repeat the process for rest also. And then again, you will get sync now option. So sync your
Yes,
project.
now the errors are not coming. Yes.
That is not errors, just the warning.
Yeah, means I have to modify it, right? For
Yeah,
that.
you need to modify, just upgrade the thing. That
Yes,
means you
ma'am,
are
it's
just
done
upgrade.
now. Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so you can dismiss your presentation, Kaina.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Resume presentation now. So I hope my screen is now visible to everyone.
And we will sync it again after that.
Yeah, if you are making the changes, you need to sync again. Any changes that you make within this file, until and unless you press the sync now option, the applied changes means the changes will not be applied. The changes will not be applied. Okay, now so let's close this file because we have done with that process and get back to your main activity Java file. After you get back to your main activity Java file, then let me know.
After syncing, we will close the build.gradle.
Yes. Any other error you are getting?
Oh, ma'am.
So now close that file and get back to the screen.
After getting back to it then? Okay, your cursor is blinking. I thought the screen was paused.
No. It's not paused. So I'm waiting actually for you people only. If you people are done with it, then I'm going to resume the process. Now over here, now what is build? I mean, that view binding feature that we have enabled, that we have set as true. That is basically the views that we are adding in our layout file, that views, configuring that views in such a way in a file which is known as binding file. So in that binding file, which is basically Java file, that binding file contains the details of the views we are adding in our layout file, so that it will be easier for us to access those views or to get the details of those views from our screen, from our activity file, so as to further carry out our process.
Ma'am, after that syncing process, there is coming some exception
Exception?
per part. Yes. No signature of method build, something like this.
No signature?
In that sync part.
Means whether the sync is completed or not completed.
No. It is showing that great project sync failed.
Failed. That means you have done some error. You have made some error.
Yes, ma'am, similar to mine.
Have you people written the line properly? This part properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Capital, small, whatever been written, exactly the way I have written. Have you followed the process, spaces and everything? Spaces and everything. Have you followed the? If you just miss out a space.
ম্যাম আমার ঠিক হয়ে গেছে, আমার ঠিক হয়ে গেছে।
So that means you made some error. That's why you are getting that. Okay. So now in this activity file, activity Java file over here, the view binding is like a mediator or is a container of all the views that you are adding in your layout file that is taken care of by view binding feature. Now previously view binding was not there. Previously view binding concept was not there. After the interaction of Jetpack and the recent Composer, material designing and all, which has been introduced in the latest versions of Android Studio and its library, this binding feature is enabled. This binding feature is enabled and we can configure it accordingly. So here we are going to use that view binding, that particular. Okay, so here let me add the thing that is private binding. Now binding, how to get that binding file? That is an inbuilt file. We are not creating that file. So to get the access of that file, see, what is the name of our file, XML file? Just read out.
Activity_main.xml.
Yes. So the binding file will be named accordingly. That means activity main binding. Just see, I'm typing A capital M and capital B. I'm just typing the initials. Check it out. I'm getting the option as activity main binding. So this is the binding file which has been generated concurrently against our layout file. Everyone getting? Confirm me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Followed
We
by
have to name the binding according to the the name we have given to the project.
layout
That means
file,
activity
yes.
main.
According to your layout file, the binding file will be named, not your Java file. In case if it is different, I'm talking about that. So now I am creating a variable of binding file type. Say.
Ma'am, I am getting some error.
Where?
Here, you may need to adjust the proxy setting in Grendel.
Cancel it.
What to do?
Have you enabled the proxy setting?
No, ma'am.
Cancel proxy setting. Do not allow any proxy settings.
Ma'am, এখানে দেখাচ্ছে unknown host.
Proxy settings enable করে ফেলেছো। ফাইলে যাও, ফাইলে যাও, সেটিংস এ যাও, ফাইলে যাও, সেটিংস এ যাও। এখানে appearance and behavior within that system security, তার মধ্যে দেখো HTTP proxy আছে, ওখানে no proxy করো।
No proxy আছে ম্যাম।
No proxy আছে? No proxy করে ওকে করো। Proxy settings কেউ enable করবে না। Do not enable proxy settings.
ম্যাম no proxy আছে কিন্তু হচ্ছে না।
দেখি শেয়ার করো স্ক্রিন।
Okay ma'am, give me some time.
You are not there from your laptop. Have you joined from your mobile phone?
Yes ma'am.
আচ্ছা, জয়েন করো, তারপর বলো, ততক্ষণ আমি এটা দেখাতে থাকি।
Can
Okay.
you please say why are we importing activity main binding file?
Yes. It's like a mediator. Okay, let me make it a diagram or okay, wait, just a second.
Okay.
Mm, wait. Let me share a diagram with you people.
ম্যাম
Hmm. Hmm.
শেয়ার
Say.
করবো
Koro. Acha, see everyone, I have posted a diagram in the WhatsApp.
Got it, ma'am.
Got it? Now, just viewing this diagram, see in the layout file, part को app तक ही mute करो. कोई तुम्हें unmuted.
ওকে ম্যাম
Now share your
ma'am.
screen. Acha, wait, I'm filling the diagram, but before that, let me check. Baba, puro error है बोलती. Sync होइनी project. Project sync
Ma'am,
होइनी. কিচ্ছু
এখানে
বুঝতে
তো
পারছি না এত তোমার স্ক্রিন একদম রিডেবিলিটি খারাপ কিছু পড়াই যাচ্ছে না Partho, it's not visible at all. Hello?
ইয়েস ম্যাম
তোমার স্ক্রিন পরিষ্কার বোঝা যাচ্ছে না এত নেটওয়ার্কের তোমার গ্লিচ আছে যে কিচ্ছু পড়া যাচ্ছে না আমি বুঝতেই পারছি না কি এরর কি লেখা আছে
ম্যাম সিঙ্ক
Do
হয়ে
one
গেছে
thing.
ইয়েস ম্যাম
Do one thing. Sync হয়ে গেছে
ইয়েস ম্যাম
এরর নেই নিচে নিচে কোনো এরর
নো
আছে
ম্যাম নো ম্যাম
কিছু তাহলে কি প্রবলেম কোথায় প্রবলেমটা কোথায় হচ্ছে বলো
প্রবলেমটা হচ্ছে সিঙ্ক করার পর অ্যাক্টিভিটি এখানে মেইন অ্যাক্টিভিটি ডট জাভাতে এরর আসছে আর অ্যাক্টিভিটি মেইন এক্সএমএল এও এরর আসছে সিঙ্ক করার পর
আগে ছিল না
সিঙ্ক করার নো
আগে ছিল না
নো ম্যাম
একটা
আগে
কাজ
ছিল
করো
না
বিল্ড মেনু একটা কাজ করো বিল্ড মেনুতে গিয়ে রিবিল্ড প্রজেক্ট করো করে আমাকে তারপর বলো বিকজ তোমার এখানে সিঙ্ক
Okay,
মানে স্ক্রিন এমনই ব্লাড আসছে কি পড়াই যাচ্ছে না কি আছে না আছে ঠিক আছে স্টপ করো প্রেজেন্টিং আচ্ছা see everyone I have shared a image in the WhatsApp group so in the left hand side you can find out that just a second wait so in the left hand side you can find out that the IDs are there just think like this is the layout file where we have separate views and each and every views to identify each and every views we have provided the ID field. This details of the layout file is a part of resource RES so that to represent the resource file we have a inbuilt file known as art.java file. And from there, we can extract the resources if required from our activity or from our fragment or whatever kind of file it is in Java or Kotlin. Now, the thing is that instead of accessing the core resource file, we can have the content in a file known as view binding file. So whatever the views we are adding in our layout, the abstract form of those views are encapsulated within the view binding files. And for each and every layout, dedicated view binding files are present. These view binding files are basically been represented in Java or Kotlin as per your language selection. And from that view binding file, we can get the thing in our Java file. We can access those content, that means those views present in the layout, we can get that content in our Java file. So this is what we are going to do. And for that, we have enabled this process in our build.gradle file. Understood? If any of you have any question, you can ask me.
Can you please repeat the build part and the view building part?
View building part in the
While
sense?
explaining. In
The diagram?
part. Yes, ma'am.
Acha. Left hand side, check it out. The layout is present. In our case, also, I'm presenting my screen. I mean, the Android Studio screen. See, these all the UI designs, UI elements which we have added, these are known as views. And for identifying these views, we have provided the IDs. So the views and the ID details are getting added up in a file known as art.java, because this layout is a part of REST resources. So additionally, to get these views accessed in our Java file, we can get those views instead of accessing from the core resource file. We can get these views with our binding file, from our binding file. The binding file is directly associated with the layout file. And that binding file contains the abstract form of all the views that we have, views, layout, whatever we have added in our layout file. All those contents are present within our binding file. So that from the binding file only, we can access those views if required in our Java file. So it makes the thing easier to access those views, each and every views easier in an easy manner from this Java file. And the view binding feature was not present in the initial versions of Android. For the last 1 or 2 years, this view binding feature has been incorporated in the Jetpack Composer, the library used by Android SDK. Now, am I clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Now, this is the view binding. So, binding file we have created. So, this is the binding file. And to represent this binding file, a variable binding I have defined over here. I made it as private. That means it will be accessible only within the class. Outside this class, I won't like to get or I won't like to have this accessibility. So I made it as private. Now within this onCreate, before means after the super.onCreate, I'm going to define this binding file. Means I am going to initialize this binding file. Now the process is the variable name equals to activity main binding dot inflate. And within inflate, just type out get layout inflator. All are inbuilt methods, just you need to use it. Within Android SDK, everything is present. You just need to use it in a correct way. Now, what's the meaning of the statement? The meaning of the statement is that we are defining the binding file over here, which is associated with activity main binding. And that main binding, through that main binding, the layout file which will be visible, which will be inflated or attached with this activity screen, that particular layout file access we want to get through the method getLayoutInflator. And hence we are initializing this binding variable here. Now through this binding variable, we are going to get all the accessibilities of IDs and views which has been marked over here, or which has been accepted, configured over here. How come to do so? So for that, starting with the set content view, change the data which has been passed within the bracket, that is r.layout.activity_main. Delete that and type over here binding.getRoot. What does it signify? Binding.getRoot signifies over here the root view which has been provided or which has been mentioned within your layout file. So I'm getting back to my layout file. The root view over here is the constraint layout. So via this statement, via this binding.getRoot, we are actually signifying the constraint layout specified within our layout file. And via this layout only, or the layout only, contains all other views which is acting like a design view of our file.
Ma'am, can you explain this part again? The getRoot, what is the function of it? Or what is this explaining exactly, that part?
GetRoot set content view is the method which will specify the view of your screen. The view means the layout, the design of it.
Means it will show it will be used for the layout view, right?
Yes, for the layout view. So which layout? The parent means within the parent only the things are there. So we are specifying the parent over here. Parent means the constraint layout in our case. That is what been specified through this.
And that inflator portion, can you please repeat?
Yes, inflator portion in the sense the attached binding file, the binding file which is attached to our layout file, that layout file we want to configure that layout file with the binding file. We are just specifying. So over here we are creating the instance of binding attached with the relevant layout file. So activity binding.inflate is the method through which we are specifying the layout file which is been configured against this binding file. So getLayoutInflator is the method that has been configured, that has been specified here. Clear now?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Now the next. So basically what we want to generate an event against this button. So for generating an event against this button, what we required? We required an action to be taken. So for taking the action against the button, I'm writing or I'm getting the access of that button via the binding variable or the binding object. This is basically the object variable of the class binding. So binding dot, now what was the button ID? BTN sign up was the ID. Just check it out.
Yes, ma'am. The activity main, the button ID was this.
Yes.
BTN at the rate sign at the rate up. Sorry, underscore sign underscore up. Yeah.
But as I said you, Java class always follow the format of Pascal case and camel case formatting. And XML we have given in that manner. So that is been converted automatically, and the variable named has been added in the binding file automatically. And you can get that access directly from here. So binding.btn sign up refers to the button that we have added in our design file. Clear or not, everyone? Let me know.
Yes,
ma'am.
Now, against this button, we want to generate an event. So we need to put a dot. By specifying the dot, we are signifying that that is an object as a whole. It is behaving like an object. Through the object, we can access the method present within that class or interface. So here the method name is set on click listener. See, I'm just typing the initial, I'm getting the option here. I'm selecting this one. As soon as I select, the bracket appears and the semicolon also appears automatically. There is only one error at moment, nothing else. Achha, let us do one thing. Instead of writing this here, let me cut this variable from here and let me mention it over here. No need of writing the private also. So basically we want this variable to be accessed over here. So let us declare over here only. So we can get rid of the warning, but one error because it requires an argument which we haven't supplied yet. Done up to here or not, Simi?
Done up to here.
Now this is a method, and
Ma'am,
Java,
how to get the set on click listener? Can you please repeat how to bring that support?
just after writing this much, put a dot, type out SET. You will get the option. Select it. Okay. Now, within the bracket, press Control space bar. Press Control space bar. You will get the suggestion. That is this one. View, arrow, then curly braces over here written on click listener. Check it out, getting or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Select it. Now, what is this? This is known as lambda expression format. Lambda expression means
No, ma'am, it's not coming.
Control space bar.
Yes, control
Within
space bar.
bracket. Definitely it have to appear.
Ma'am,
This
it's
is the
coming a
only
bit late, means it already has
maybe if your system is lagging a bit, then it might be. এটা কিন্তু আসবেই because this is the default option. I'm showing once again the entire statement. I'm deleting the thing. Binding variable use করছি, and through that giving a dot means binding means the object. Through that the variable name is btn sign up. That is been there. Now as a whole, it is representing as a single object, and we are giving the dot over here to access its method. See, আমি সঙ্গে সঙ্গে ডট দিচ্ছি, আমার সঙ্গে সঙ্গে মেথড গুলো চলে আসছে যেগুলো আমরা অ্যাপ্লাই করতে পারি. So over here I need to choose set on click listener. So for easy access, I'm just typing out set, getting the option set on click listener, select it. Now within bracket, the cursor is blinking. Press over there, control space bar. Akshate, control space bar. It will open up the suggestions. Select the suggestion view from here. Now check whether you are getting it or not.
Ma'am, for what are we using that set on click? Can you please repeat? Set on click listener.
Comment लिखे रखो.
अच्छा
Event for the button.
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है.
So for generating the event against the button click, we are actually applying the set on click listener method. Now, this set on click listener method requires an argument. The argument means overriding a method. But here in case of Java, we can follow the lambda expression format, which I am currently following. Lambda expression format in the sense means instead of writing the whole method and defining it, we can write it in an expression form. Now, if a method requires an argument, so this is the argument variable, which is of view type, and defining the method or means expressing it in an expression format, the arrow means hyphen and then the greater than sign. This arrow need to be given. And then if it has multiple statements, then put the curly braces, or otherwise you can ignore the curly braces if you have a single statement to write down here. I repeat, if you have a multiple statement, put the curly braces, otherwise you can ignore the curly braces. In our case, we will require the multiple statement, so I am writing the curly braces here. Clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, over here.
Ma'am, actually my device was lacking, so view that part happened. After that, what I need to do?
Curly braces দাও আর কিছুই তো করিনি দেখো ভালো করে হয়েছে now within this let me call a method with a condition. If I hope everyone know how to use if else this kind of things, means decision making statements. Yes or no?
Yes.
So simply I'm using an if over here. If certain condition need to be given, but that condition I want to wrap it in a method. So the method name is maybe do validation is the method name. So what I'm going to do validation I'm typing by myself because the method I'm going to create by own. So do validation and then followed by opening closing parenthesis. Okay.
Ma'am, I'm asking one thing, that this is the process we are doing in the overridden part just for the sign up button to work, right?
Yes. Because see, when we will clicking on the sign up, then it will take the input. I mean, the process will be followed accordingly. In general also, when you create an account for any application or whatsoever, you fill out the form, you press on the button, then you get some, if incorrectly the form has been filled up or something, you get the errors. I mean, it prompt you do the correction.
Yes, suppose we are putting the wrong password, the wrong email, then in the bottom part it will show that your password is incorrect, like that.
Maybe in the bottom part, or maybe here only as an error. Right. So
yes,
all those things we need to configure here. That means we need to generate that event. We need to write that business logic. These are known as business logics. So that particular business logic, how to write down, that I am teaching you right
okay,
over
ma'am.
here. So the means against the click, the error will occur or it will proceed to the sign up process, whatever the procedure is. So to carry out that procedure, we need to validate our fields. So for validating the fields, we need to write up some process. So that process I want to mention within a method which I'm going to create, means a user defined method I want to create. The name of the method will be do validate. Now at moment the method is not present within the class, so we are getting the error. Understood, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Rest of you people, are you getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, following.
Okay. Now click over here. You will get a bulb. Click on the bulb. So click on create method do validation in main activity. Select it. You will find a method will be created by that click within the class, within your activity. And automatically, see, since I have called the method within the if as a condition, so this method return type is Boolean value. So the Android compiler is smart enough to specify the return type for you. Clear
Ma'am,
now?
after if, can you please repeat?
After if, within bracket, do validation, type out this.
Ma'am, that is done. After that line.
Click over here, you will get the red bulb. Click on the red bulb, click on create method, click on that, a method will be created. Okay, getting the method?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ogneshwar, getting the method?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now see, we are having two errors because this method requires a return value which we are not returning. Again, here it is incomplete. That's why two errors we are getting. So just give a curly braces over here, I mean the if block, to get rid of the error. One error will be getting rid of, and here from here let's return false. Just write the statement, so there will be no error. Yeah, you might get a warning because of empty if block, otherwise you are not going to get error. Process clear up to here?
No, I'm getting 7 errors.
7 errors. Oh my god. Share your screen.
Just a minute, ma'am.
Acha, I will just end up
Ma'am,
here.
I am also getting 7 errors. Means
Seven
after
errors.
writing return false, I am still getting the error on the brackets over there. Means after do validation. Yeah, like that. Same is happening with mine.
Validation. Do validation. Just minimize your who's this presenting? Abhijit, minimize your current file, that portion, minimize the problem section so that I can just check it out.
Ma'am, which one?
Yeah, bottom section, just minimize it. And what's written? Binding will set on click listener. Do validation. Validation bracket boolean return. How many brackets you are closing for the do validation? That's the reason you are getting error. No, not over here. In the method. Bracket, curly braces, method body. Do validation in the bottom, the method where you have specified. Private boolean do validation, there I'm talking about.
Ma'am,
You
left
have
only
opened the
one.
curly braces. Listen to me. You have opened the curly braces to start the body of the method, but you are closing two curly braces. Check it out. After return false, you are closing two curly braces. Line number 29 or something, I guess. You need to delete one curly braces. One extra closing curly braces is there. That's why it's creating issue.
Probably scroll down. It's in the bottom part.
I guess Abhijit got freezed. Abhijit, are you there?
I mean, if part there should be 3 closing curly braces, sir?
Sorry?
Ma'am, in the if part there should be 3 closing curly braces. The closing curly braces should be 3, and in the private
closing
Can I
part,
share my
braces
screen?
only two. Yes, Koina, share your screen. I guess Abhijit got stuck.
Sorry, ma'am. Ma'am, I got internet issue. Ma'am, is it
Yes,
visible
yes.
now?
Yes, you are visible. I said you to delete one curly braces from line number 29. Closing curly braces. Unnecessary one closing curly braces is there. Okay. Now, after if do validation, the opening curly braces is there, put enter over there.
Ma'am, line number 26.
If no, if do validation, that press enter. Now see, no more errors.
Okay, ma'am, got it.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes, yes,
one
yes.
warning is there.
Warning will be there. We will get rid of it in the next half of our session.
Okay, ma'am.
So we'll complete the procedures in the next half of the session. Okay. Thank you, everyone. So I'm ending it over here.
how much we have done, will it be automatically saved?
Yes, it will be automatically saved.
Okay.
So I'm ending it over here for now. Again, at 2 o'clock, we will resume the process. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.